today. This is our first Lunch and Learn of the school year. I'm Mr. Silver. I'm the coordinator of the academy. We are very fortunate to have one of our favorite Lunch and Learn speakers come back. This is Jennifer Barnhard, who is the CEO of Starfleet Service Dogs. This is Spock. And we caught Jenny just before she begins veterinary school at the Royal Veterinary Institute in London.
Mm-hmm. Hi guys, you're good. Hi.
So I pass it off to you.
Sit. Hi guys, welcome back to school. Sorry, I am your first one of the fun for the summer session. Your end of summer and back to work, but it is also back to work for my lovely dog. We are going out to veterinary school at the Royal Veterinary College in London. So it'll be quite a fun time traveling with a service dog all the way out that way. But I do a whole variety of things, so I like to give you guys a choice because, as Avi knows, I could talk forever, and it's much better if you guys actually tell me what you're interested in. So of kind of things that I do, I'm a veterinary technician. I've trained horses for the Olympic team, and I train service dogs as well as done police dogs all across the country in different working environments. And then I have also done training zoo animals, horses, dogs, other things like that, headed off to veterinary school and starting my own nonprofit to help people with disabilities with service dogs. So this is Spock. He does a lot of cool things, which I can show you. So he can do a bunch of tasks, retrieve things, open and close doors, turn on and off the lights, do lots of fun things. So I can tell you guys a bit about him and what it's like to have a service dog, running a nonprofit that trains these for everyone and how people can get involved in that, or specifics if you guys are more interested in things like veterinary medicine or animal training in general. So does anyone have an opinion? Anyone want anything first another? Whoever actually talks to me will win the option of what happens. So who? Say it's on the board. What do you want? What do you want to learn about today? Go for it. You raised your hand. You're on the spot now. Everything. All right, sure. So this is Spock. He's a service dog. Does anyone know what service dogs are? Yeah? Yeah, so dogs that help people is probably the best answer that we can really give. So there's 3 different categories. There's guide dogs, which are dogs for people that are blind, and they help them navigate the world. They don't tell the person where to go, but they give feedback that that person's not getting visually. So the dog is those person's eyes, and the person then makes a decision using their hearing of whether or not they want the dog to continue. So those are pretty cool. They walk out in front of people, and their main tasks are changes in elevation. So if you walk up to a curb, they're going to stop if it's a downhill, and they're going to put their paw up if it's an uphill, so the person knows which way they're, if they're going basically into a street or out of a street. They will only walk on sidewalks and crosswalks, so you will never see them jaywalking. You should follow the blind people. They do a very nice job of using our street signs and laws correctly. We also have hearing dogs for people that are deaf. So your sounds in here, like your bells for changing classes, or your alarms when you're making your food, a baby monitor, a fire alarm. If a person is deaf or hard of hearing, they might not be aware of those sounds. The dogs have excellent hearing, so we can use the dogs to tell people when those sounds are occurring and then perform an action. So maybe if it's a fire alarm, they can leave, or if it's something in the fridge or next to a microwave, they hear the microwave, they can redirect that person to go back and get their food or know when something's ready. And the third category, which is what Spock is service dogs for other disabilities. So in my case, I have a heart condition where my heart likes to stop at times that I am unaware. He can tell me 5 to 40 minutes ahead of time. There is not a single machine or medical device that can do that. It is only this dog and other dogs that are trained to my specific levels of cortisol, which is done by scent training. And so he makes him about a $50,000 dog and invaluable to me because there's nothing that actually replaces his ability to give me back my independence. He is also allergen trained to food. So all of you guys are eating lunch right now, which is awesome. Yours is from Subway. The fun thing about kind of buffet foods is what happens when you mix them together with people with allergies. Doesn't work out so great, right? So when I go to places like Chipotle or Subway, I might watch them make the sandwich, but I don't know if they combined some. Yep. 5 to 9. Yep. Most likely Spock will be there. Don't worry. He accepts donations of food. So with places like that, I might be able to eat there now because all I have to do is take that sandwich and ask my dog, is the odor of gelatin present? So for me, that's a word check. He will sniff it. If the odor is present, he thinks he's going to get steak as a reward. So it is a very good idea for him to tell me if it's there or not because he gets rewarded for it. So these guys are trained basically to do useful things for us to earn something good. Sometimes that's pizza from Avi. I know he'll at some point will get you guys pizza like he does Spock. In other cases, it's steak, and sometimes it's just telling him that he's a good boy. All of that works as long as they know that what they're doing earns them something. Just like you guys, you're earning grades, you're earning being proud of yourself, maybe getting to go to another school or another job. These guys also work for rewards. We cannot train working dogs by punishing them. It doesn't work. They will leave, they will quit, they will not tell you what's going on. So it's pretty cool to watch them choose to help me. I have never actually seen this dog save my life because I'm unconscious when it happens. But I'm standing here talking to you guys today instead of in a wheelchair or with severe brain injuries, which I've had in the past, because he actually does his job because he wants to and because he thinks he gets something great out of it. So I'll show you a couple things that he does, and then maybe a couple of you guys can do some fun things with him. So what are things you know that dogs can do? Sit. We can try. Spock, can you sit? Yay, okay. So, well, maybe. There, sit. So, yes, he can sit. What else? Right, handshake. So you have a paw. You have another paw. You have a touch. Touch. Right, you have the ability to touch anything. And then it gets more exciting. So as long as he doesn't slip, sit. You have alert sequences. So like I was telling you, he tells me when things go wrong. Well, we have to train him what to do, right? He can't just come up here and be like, something's wrong. If he was barking in here, you guys would think he was not behaved. So that's not very useful. So we have to train them how to do something. So he has an escalation alert. So one of them, alert? Yes, alert. Yes. Alert. Alert. It's okay. Alert. Yes. Good boy. So he escalates, and you can tell he knows we're inside. He's like, are you kidding me? You want me to talk? So he escalates. The nice thing is he goes from being calm lying on the ground to that behavior. If we're sitting in this class and he does that, it's a very obvious distinction that he's doing something that he was trained to do. Additionally, that's helpful, right? He told me there's something wrong. What could someone do if there's something wrong? What would you guys do if you didn't feel well? Go to the nurse, okay? What do nurses do? They give you medicine. They help you. They make sure you don't get worse, right? That's one of the big things is, especially with these guys, they're not here because someone had a bad day once. They're saving your life. We don't go out and walk around with them for 24 hours because you get sick one time. They are there to save your life. So some of the things that you can do, like you said, we're getting medicine, which if he wants to. Spockies? Come here. Can you find the medicine? He's like, I found her Subway. Spock, find the medicine. Where'd it go? The keys to the car. Well, thank you for that. Can you find the medicine? Where'd it go? Bring it here. Thank you. And so he can also get any dropped item, which is what he was doing. Get the keys. Get the keys. Bring it here. Yes. Good boy. Spock. Get your leash. Get your leash. Where did it go? Where did it go? Get your leash. Where is it? Yes. Bring it here. Not to the Subway. No, to me. To me. There you go. Thank you, buddy. Sit. So you can retrieve pretty well anything. So the highest level. Do any of you have a coin? Leave it. You have a coin? He'll give it back to you, I promise. Maybe he'll eat it. There's always that risk. We'll see. Okay, so have you guys ever seen a dog retrieve a coin? It's pretty fun. Come here. Hi. You want this? You gotta get this. Sit. Yes, okay. Can you get it? Back up. Back up. Get it. It's like, where? So another fun thing about their vision, it's terrible. Bring it here. Thank you. So I can retrieve all the way down to a single coin, which I'll wash for you. It's nice and dog filled. So they can retrieve pretty well everything. It goes down. We have some of these dogs that work for lawyers. If you can think about pieces of paper and dog slobber, you don't want that. They have to be so gentle like he did. They can retrieve coins and pieces of paper without leaving large marks on it, without chewing it up. So basically, it's really refined levels of fetch. They can alert to you when something's wrong, and then they can do other levels of response. So one of the things he can do, which I'll show you, is something called legs. Come in the middle. Come here, buddy. Here. So if, right, you don't feel well, one of your options is back here. Legs. 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 Crawl. Crawl. I know it's good. Right, one of your options is to elevate your legs. So right now my back is up here, so I could sit down here and pet the dog, and that's all fine. The difference is if I now lie down, what happens when your legs become above your heart and your torso? Do you guys know? Yeah, blood goes back to your heart. So if you have something like seizures or your heart stops or anything else, one of the options that you have is to have the dog elevate it. There's not that much you could do in the middle of nowhere. So I'm walking down the grocery store. There's no real way to do that. But I can walk down the grocery store with him, out. And I have two options. I could sit there, cover, down, down, and do something called DPT. So this is the effect of a weighted blanket, right? The dog's blocking you. To be fair, would any of you approach a random person sitting here with a dog on their lap like this? Not really, right? You're not going to mess with that person. And if they're disoriented, maybe they have PTSD, they're not feeling well, right? You don't really want to interact with the public. So one of the things this does, the weight, right, helps ground you, also keeps the public back a little bit so that you could take your medicine and deal with yourself. Or, right, he can also switch, off, off. Right, and if he comes back and does legs, doggies, back, 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 legs. Legs, 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 legs. Legs, yes, right? I can sit here and do this and actually have the blood come back to my heart and be able to wake back up again. Back. And he can do that anywhere because he follows me around everywhere it is that I go, which is pretty cool. What other things do we know dogs do? Any fun ideas? No? Have you ever seen dogs salute? No? All right, come here. Sit. Salute. Salute. Higher. Higher. Salute. Yes. Good boy. Can do that. He can balance this. It's going to be a little bit. Let me see if I have a different one here. Leave it. Ready? Yes. Good boy. So he can catch things. Touch. Yes. Up. Yes. Off. Yes. He bow. 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 Yes. Good boy. Back. Yes. Good job. Sit. Good boy. So you can do a variety of things to go out and about. The biggest thing in here, right, you guys have food, bunch of people, everything. The only thing he's not doing is interacting with everyone else. And that is his job and other working dogs. So the difference between Plutz. You. Plutz. So the difference between him and other working dogs is not his temperament, it's not his behavior in here, it's just what his job is. So we talked about a little bit about guide dogs, hearing dogs, and service dogs. What other working dogs have you guys seen? Do you know? What happens when you go through TSA? What does everyone in your hallway think I'm here for? Yeah, checking people out, right? We have explosive dogs. We have drug dogs. We have live search dogs. We have airborne dogs, right? They're going around and they're using their nose to do something really useful. So how much better does a dog smell than you guys? You know? 100? 10 million. 10 million times better is your greatest estimate on these guys right now. They actually have something called a Jacobson's organ, so they have which is their vomoral nasal organ, and it allows them to process scent differently in one nostril versus another. So they can hold a scent in one nostril while they sniff the air in another. So that's why a tracking dog can match the scent of a person to what they're finding in their environment. And when the two match, they can be trained to do a behavior. So their scent is really great. What do we know about dogs' hearing? It's really good? Kind of. It's worse than ours when we talk. So within the human speech range, they don't actually hear that well. So they're not really just, yeah? Exactly, yeah, they can hear higher and lower than we can. So the sounds that we cannot hear, they hear very well, which is why they're considered better than us. But at our human speech range, they don't. So if you talk to your dog and go, Spock, sit, right? He's like, you're talking to me, but I don't know what to do. The second side of that is, are they really listening to what you're saying, or are they listening to your tone? Do you know? Do you think I can get the dog to stand up by the word elephant? Maybe? What would I have to do? So if I have to motivate this dog by the word elephant to stand up, what can I do? One, I can grab cheese. Okay, I can move my hand. So that doesn't get him to do my elephant. Yes, I can do it by my hand. But what could I do with my words to motivate you guys or the dog? Make it higher pitched, right? So if I go elephant, right, he's not going to do it. Elephant. Right, no problem. So now how would I get him to sit using the word elephant? Any idea? So a little bit lower. And what would be the difference between sitting or lying down? What would be more low? Lying down, yeah. Elephant. What? Elephant. Yes. Elephant. He's like, I don't really know. Elephant. And you can tell he's like, I don't understand. So what else could I do in this instance? What is my body language at him right now? What if I walked up to you and do that? Elephant. Right? So he just listened. When you're direct like that, are you going to be vulnerable? Right? No, you're going to stand up to someone that's doing that. If I come in your face and talk to you on the phone, you're not going to sit or lie down. You're going to be like, it's a little too much in my face. So as soon as I redirected from him to you, he was like, okay, fine, you don't need me anymore. So that is a communication of body language and tone that changes what they do. I could use the same commands with this dog with a different tone, and he's not going to do it because the context does not match what I'm asking him to do. The same way when you're in class, right? If Avi just talked to you in a monotone voice all day, that's going to be, one, you're going to stop paying attention to him on some level, but two, you're going to notice the difference if he were to change that behavior drastically. So one of the things your teachers do, we do as trainers, is if we notice that people aren't responding, you start doing other things. Whether or not it's starting to make loud noises so that people pay attention, moving around, or doing anything else. You're engaging animals, people, as they go around the world. So we have, right, a word elephant here. If we wanted to teach this dog something new, right, what's something that you want the dog to do? I'll tell you if he knows it or not. You want to roll over? Okay, to be fair, this dog actually doesn't know the word rollover, so we can do that. We'll see how he does with it. So, you want to teach him rollover? All right. So she's going to teach him to roll over. I do have cheese. Fair warning, anytime you ever want to present something with a bunch of peers, bring them candy, right, if they're people, or pizza, whatever they like. If you have a dog, bring them snacks. Bring them snacks. He works for me all day. He knows that this is not his job. This is showing off. Bring something that they like. For Avi, it's bean burritos. You know, it's fair. It works. So it's all what they are motivated by. So are you allergic to cheese? Excellent. Good plan. Neither is the dog. So it's a good game. I'm allergic to all his food, though, so that becomes an interesting game, but not cheese. So the first thing you're going to do is communicate to him that he is right. Have any of you heard the marker word that I used today? How do I tell this dog he's right? Yes, exactly, right. So what? Yeah, correct. Sorry. Avi is correct. It's a P-S-P at the end, so everybody say yesp. Yeah, you can't say that with a low tone. And especially with different age groups and other things, it forces people, right, to get the intonation up. So we have yesp is his word, and he knows it. Yesp. So what you're going to do, he's very gentle, and I'm going to prove that to you right here. It's a little ridiculous. Very sweet. So you're just going to say yesp and give him some free snacks, and that's to get him to start listening to you. Go for it.
Yes.
It's like, thank you. Yep.
Yes.
Yep, this is the best part of their day. All right, so we're teaching him that you're right. Yeah, you finished it. That's fine. Here, yes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get him to move. So we have two ways to get him to move, and you guys are going to get to decide how to teach him this. And to be fair, roll over. Roll over. Roll over. He doesn't, okay? It's not a secret idea that he's magically going to do it. You have to teach him, otherwise they're all going to judge you, so it's fine. So, and now he's ready, right? So now he's like, you have the cheese. I will give you my paw. I will offer you all these things. Try it. Ask him to roll over.
Roll over.
No, right? It's not going to work. So we've got to train him how to do it. So you have two options. One is how to get somebody to go away from you and towards you. So I'm going to give you guys two options. You tell me which one's which. If I point, are you coming towards me or away from me? Away, right? If I do this, anything like this, are you coming towards me or away from me? Towards, right? He's like, yes. So we have a touch, which gets them to go towards you, and a here, which gets them to go away. So test that out. Point in one direction and say here.
Here.
He's like, to you? Hey, so, right, he is a dog, and he is smart. So you're holding the cheese there in your hand here. He's going to go to the cheese. So try it right here. Just do a here to this direction. Excellent. Yes. You learned. So we're back away from her. Give her a little more space. You got it. There you go. This way, this way. There you go. Okay, so you got him to move with you. Excellent. Now you're going to try a touch. To do a touch, you're going to put a little bit of cheese, right, at your thumb. And you make a hand like this. Spock. Yes. Touch. 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 Yes. Touch. Touch. Yes. Touch. Yes. Right? And then he can have it. So you just put your hand up and say touch.
Touch.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, good. And so, right, that marker word yes, this is a new language for you, right? So it's a snapshot of when they do the behavior correctly. And that's what keeps their motivation going. The same way, if you guys are doing your tests, right, why are the questions separated? You know? No, it's entirely an American invention. I'm going to veterinary school, and I can promise you my tests will have a paragraph of 10 questions, and then I have to answer it for the next essay. It is a taught culture for us. It's easier to grade, to be honest, and it allows you to make sure that you're separating out the points. But in general, in your job or anything else, your questions in life will not be separated. You have to actually separate them in your mind. Same with the dog. You have an idea of what you want him to do. It's roll over. We have to separate it. Our school system teaches us how to solve problems by splitting it into smaller steps. So now you get to split it into a smaller step with him. What do we have to do to get this dog to roll over? Let me bring him into the middle because he has more space. Spotties. He's coming with you now. There you go. Hi. All right, what do we have to do? What are the steps that we would have to do to get him to roll over? Get him to sit. Have you ever seen a dog flip over from a sit? Yeah, okay. Fancy lesson for all of you that have dogs. Stop asking your dogs to lie down from a sit. They have nothing to do with each other. Spock. Right? If we get it, you can use Spockies. Down. Down. Right? So they lie down. They don't need to sit to lie down. So now they're in a down. So you're going to practice down first. So that's step one. What's going to be our step two? How do they get all the way over? They first get halfway over, right? They're not just randomly going to flip over. They're going to get halfway over. How are we going to get him to move from here to halfway over? Do they go towards you or away from you? Away, right? So it's going to be a here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go at his nose, and you're going to bring his head around here, here, right? And you're going to get to halfway, all right? So I want to see you get from down to halfway, and then I'll help you with the rest. Look. Elephant. There we go, your newest command. All right. So I got to get it down. So you just point to the ground and say down.
Down.
He's like, but free cheese.
No, down. Down.
Yes, yep, good. All right, so now you got to get him halfway over. So you're going to use here, and you're going to lure his face to here, so it's turning towards his body, and then he's going to flop to the side.
Here.
Excellent, good. Okay, now, how do you think you're going to get him all the way over? Yeah, so the same thing from there, but you're going to go from his nose, right here, and then you're going to basically bring his nose between his leg and over, so he has to flip in order to get there. All right? Go for it. Yep, we got to go lower. Yep, slower, slower. He's like, oh, this is too easy. Yep, so get the halfway. You got to get halfway then. How'd you get halfway? Yep, and just put it like by his vest. Yeah. Oh, he's like, it's too easy. All right, you can do it this way. No, that's fine. Good. All right, now how are you going to get him all the way? Remember, you still have a here. So right now you have his face. You need his body. So you can use a here to change it. Yep, so ask him down. He's getting free snacks now.
Down.
And tell them, yes, excellent. Yep. Say here. Yep. Yep. Yeah, so you can go that way, and then you can go from there over. So you're going to go from here, and then you're coming like across. Yep, you got it. Oh, you got it. Go a little bit lower. You got it. Woo! Okay, so this is the first step, right? He actually did the behavior. The problem with training animals is you cannot ask them to do something if they don't already do the behavior. If you guys were not given the resources to learn something, which, mind you, given the resources, not Avi told you the answer. If you don't have the resources, which you all do on your cell phones, to find the answer to something, then how are you going to answer it correctly when you're asked the test? You have to put together something else. So all we did was take things he already knows, here, down, right, and we got a behavior, which is rollover. Does he know the word rollover? No, and that's the answer. He has the ability to get there. You could fake it. I could fake it very easily, but he doesn't know the word. So now we have to teach it to him. When you guys learn a new concept, right, what comes first? Do we introduce what the new concept is and then teach it? Or do we just start teaching something and later on tell you that that's what we taught you? You introduce concept first. Okay, so we know what it is that he is doing now. You know how to get him to roll over. When I'm going to teach him a new word, right, am I going to do all of this down here, roll over? Or am I going to say roll over, down here, whatever? Roll over first. So that looks like this. I'm going to teach you all to raise your hand at the word elephant, okay? And you're going to tell me if I did it the right way or the wrong way. Raise your hands, all of you. Raise your hands. There you go. Okay, put them down. Elephant, raise your hands. Put them down. Elephant, raise your hands. Put them down. Elephant. Excellent. So you all raise your hands at the word elephant. We're going to do the same thing to the dog, and she's going to teach him how to roll over doing the same way. So we're going to, again, give you more cheese because he likes his cheese. It's Havarti, not his favorite flavor, but he'll live. So we're going to give you a little more cheese. And you can do little pieces of it. So I want him to roll over twice, and then you can start adding the word. So he's going to learn what the behavior is being rewarded before we start adding other words. So you can do it all by pointing, or you can use words. Yep, and make sure he has, so no word yet for rollover. We got to get the behavior first. So you have here and down to get it, or you can lure him with cheese. Yep. What happened? You're going to hit him into the chair? I'll help you. There you go. Excellent. Okay, so you did it one time, so now you got to get it one more time. Yep. Yeah, you can even do it while he's still lying down. That doesn't matter. All right, you got it. So look at his, yeah, he's still being nice to you. Yep. He's like, what? I'll help you slightly. There you go. Okay, excellent. So now what you're going to do is you're going to say the word rollover, and then you do the action. The only difference is he does need the space. If we help him in it, he can't do it again. So muscle memory, brain memory for all you guys. If somebody intervenes in between, you didn't actually do the sequence. That doesn't mean it's not useful. We're learning how to do the body positions. We're learning how to learn. But if you did not do it yourself, you won't be able to the next time. You have to go through that training process of being able to figure it out. So as long as I'm holding him in between, he's going to stop at that point, that halfway point of like, Jenny's going to come help me. We don't want him to do that. So we can give him a little more space so he can roll over. And then now you can use the word. Yeah. So fine. Okay, so now you're going to do roll over, and then you're going to do the behavior. Yep. Almost. You're so close. Yep, so don't help him. Yep, he's got to do it. Remember, you can still use here. Almost. He's like, this is too easy. Remember, you got to use the pointed hand so that he thinks it's his body. So he can go like this. Yep, Yep, so close. So close. Yep. Yeah, he's moving his head. Yep. So get him halfway.
Down.
I didn't say it was easy. There you go. Yep, get that halfway. Good. Yep. Use the ear. You got it. So where do you want him here? Yeah, and then go across. A little bit faster. Yeah, you got it. Oh, halfway. Oh, don't just give him free cheese. Oh, it's so cute. No. Yeah, you got to get it now. Yep. 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 So keep it more on this side. Yes. Excellent. Good job. Yep. And then give it to him. Yeah, he did it. There you go. All right, hand me some cheese. So then what you do, Spockies. Spock, it's now me. It's now me. Free. He's like, free cheese. Free cheese. Spockies, come here. Spock. Come here. Right, so then if you speed it up, down. Roll over. Come on. Yes! Good boy. So she added the difference, and it's just finessing the hand signals to get him to go fully over. So now we have down, down. Yep. Roll over. Roll over. Yes. Right? Yes. Come here. Sit. And so now you got him to do it. Well done. You did it. Taught him a new word. Good boy. Good boy. All right, bud.